Now you tell me if this was a joy of a match to have. Um, can you tell us about wrestling in a mall against Prince Adam?
That's my my crowning achievement in creative stuff that I've gotten to do on my own. Um, so backstory behind all that. So I used to be before the pandemic and before COVID shut everything down. I used to work for Inspire Pro Wrestling in Austin, and I just won their undefinable championship. I think it's a different name now, but during that time, that's what it was called. And as soon as I won the title, I had a few matches with the title, and then COVID shut everything down. And I actually came up with the Southern Flamingo gimmick during COVID. Since I wasn't wrestling, I was like, well, I got to start, cutting promos and doing stuff. So I had that belt, and I was like, well, I'm going to switch the name to it and just call it the Open Range title. And I'm just going to wrestle outside and do like these cinematic matches since wrestling shut down still and bookings were very, very scarce during that year. So I had a couple matches here in St. Louis where I was wrestling in a park and just really easy, simple, goofy stuff. And then heavy metal wrestling ran out of the Rolling Oaks Mall in San Antonio, and I spoke to the promoter and I was like, hey, I'm coming down a few days early. Can I use the entire mall for a wrestling match? And told him all the ideas. So he gave me the okay. He spoke to the security guard, and the security guard gave it the okay. And we had to do it like at 9 or 10 p.m. at night. But here's the best part. That security guard who said he was going to be on guard during the time showed up late. Like he slept in for a shift, and another guy that had no idea what we were doing or that we were in there, he wasn't given a heads up. So it's on my YouTube channel. If you go and check that out, the ending of the match is where I pull out a toy gun and I tell everybody to get down, and 1, 2, 3, I win. Right?
Yeah.
So around that time, we were in the mall food court, and that's where the ending of the match happened, where a fake security guard played by another wrestler, Ethan Price, and we actually we didn't steal it, but we went into the security office where we shouldn't have been during the mall, and we took a real security guard officer T-shirt, and we got in trouble for that as well. So I pull this gun out, and it looks very real because we clipped the orange piece off of it. So around that time, I'm screaming, telling everyone to get down in the food court, and then the security guard that has no idea what's going on walked around the corner, saw a crazy dude in jean short shorts and a white T-shirt with a gun. He dead sprinted out of the mall and called the San Antonio Police Department.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So the police department were on their way, but since the mall itself knew there was a wrestling show in there, or a wrestling, school and stuff, they called the promoter, Dylan Dunbar, and they asked him, like, hey, is this you guys? Like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, yeah, it's us. So they called the San Antonio Police Department, told him not to come because it was like a film prank kind of deal. So I almost got heavy metal kicked out of the mall forever, and then I believe we almost all got fines. So it was pretty cool.
I can't imagine that wasn't an interesting conversation you had with the promoter afterwards.
He he said if he would have gotten kicked out, he said it would have been worth it. And the good thing is, I didn't have to sit in for the meeting he had with the people who owned the mall the next morning. He had to get up super early, and he had to get bitched at by them all. So it was kind of cool.
And I mean, you're lucky that that security guard wasn't more brazen and actually attacked you in any way. He just ran the other way and called the police.
I could have gotten shot. I could have gotten tased. I could have gotten any of it, and it would have been like it would have been fine because I looked like a crazy dude with a gun and he had no idea. So it's wild as hell, and I can't believe we did that. So I'm glad we have. It's documented forever.
Now, now that we have the backstory, let's talk about the actual match. Who,
Yeah.
who's coming up with all of the things that you're doing? Because there's a lot of interesting things take place during the match.
Yeah, so I came up with like 98, 99% of it. And we were kind of walking around the mall, seeing like what we could use, what we couldn't use, stuff like that. And then I was like, well, I want like, I want to get my head shoved into a toilet, and I think that'd be funny. And the guy who was helping me film it, he went, I have a GoPro camera. Let's put the camera in a Ziploc bag and then put it in the water, in the toilet bowl water. And I was like, that's genius. I wouldn't have thought of that because I didn't think anyone would have like a GoPro in a Ziploc bag for some fucking reason. But we did it, and we did 3 takes on the toilet thing. So I had to put my face in an actual toilet water 3 times.
Oh,
But we needed the shot, and it was worth it. So, and then we wrestled in a kid's playground.
yeah.
And I took a pile driver on like a big gumball type deal, and we had a moment on the escalator. That's usually I think that's my favorite part is the escalator part.
Nobody thought of actually running up the escalator. You had to wait.
No, yeah, it's so stupid, right? It's just so stupid. So, and then I love the part where we had a whole lot more clips filmed for when Adam was trying to find me around the mall, and I was like hiding in places. I didn't want the whole thing to be like 20 minutes because we were already like pressing it pretty long to 15. So there was a lot of like outtakes of it. Like I was hiding in a window next to a bunch of like mannequins. I was standing still. He walked by it. I was like, I had my head in like flower pots or like big like trees and branches that were in the in the mall. So a lot of crazy stuff in there that unfortunately did not make the cut.
Well, maybe there will be an uncut, uncensored version coming soon.
That's not a bad idea. Or I could film another one because I'm having the itch to film more of cinematic matches since they're really fun to put together.
Okay, the Maul-Armageddon Part 2.
Yeah, if I can find another mall that I won't get shot at, we'll definitely do it.
Because you probably can't go back to that one.
No, in the end, heavy metal is no longer running out of that mall anymore, so we lost that privilege.
And I gotta say, the finish where you told him to get down, or you shoot him, and then you put the gun in the referee's face. Best finish to a match ever.
Yeah. I love the fast count he did because I didn't tell him to do it. He just counted really fast, and it was I almost laughed, but yeah, I love that whole ending. I thought I was gonna get in trouble like online for it, but I'm just like this is too funny not to put out there. Like I think people would find joy in it.
Well, I definitely found joy in it. One of the best finishes, the most logical finish to of a wrestling match ever.
Oh gosh.